Should you wait for a market crash before buying a condo? This is a question a lot of people are asking, especially in bigger cities in Canada that have been hot for years. Let's ask ourselves some other questions that might make things more clear. If you know that a market is going to crash soon, then yes, it could make sense to wait for prices to drop. But the first question we have to ask ourselves is, can I time the market? If you think you know when and how much a market is going to drop, then you should probably stop this video right now and do something much more fun, like taking a dip in your swimming pool full of money. On the other hand, if the answer is no, and it should be, then let's look at the next question to ask ourselves. Would I still have money left over at the end of the month if I were to buy? There are lots of affordability calculators out there telling you how much you would qualify to borrow. But if you run a projected budget and find out that you would just squeak by, then you're actually not in a good position to be a homeowner just yet. If you don't have at least 10% of your gross income left over after the mortgage payments, maintenance payments, and all the other expenses in life to put towards savings or accelerating debt payments, for example, you'll be walking a tightrope with your finances. On the other hand, if you do think you'll have 10% of your gross income left over after all expenses, then you're in a stronger position to own a home. Next, do you see yourself staying put for a while? Now, of course, life happens, but you should have a reasonable expectation of not having to move again in the short term. Real estate transaction costs add up, and buying and selling too often is a wealth killer. If you think there is a reasonable chance that you'll stay put for 10 years or longer, that adds to the case for buying. If you think you'll likely move within 10 years, then that adds to the case for not buying. And finally, what is the ratio of prices to rents for comparable properties? If you had a condo selling for $750,000 and comparable units were offered for rent for $3,000 per month, then by taking $750,000 and dividing by $3,000, you would get $250. So the ratio of price to monthly rent would be 250 to 1. The higher this ratio gets, the more attractive renting will be. And the lower this number gets, the more attractive buying will be. So there you have it. While this is certainly not an exhaustive list, these questions should provide some food for thought.